Hey, what's up? It's your boy Elf7, and today I'm making a video about, well, I think that some of these progressive channels are actually making mistakes as in terms of their attribution of progressive wins.
I don't worry. I tell you, I'm a man who believed that I died 20 years ago, and I live like a man who is dead already. I have no fear whatsoever of anybody or anything.
So let's talk about it. So probably one of my favorite shows is going to be The Hill with Crystal and Sagar. Crystal and Sagar. And anyways, there's some valid criticism about it. Not going to get into that at the moment, but honestly, I do think that their takes are, for the most part, accurate. So, but this one over here, I think there's a slight amount of projection going on here, because sorry to pick on Crystal, because you could tell she's really into it, you know what I mean? And no news is going to be truly impartial. Yeah, we are not perfect beings. We don't have a God's perspective, right? We only see certain things that are presented to us, and we try to do the best we can to present impartially, hopefully, right? I think the news has kind of like walked away from that recently. So yeah, there's a little bit of editorializing on her part, but generally it's accurate, right? But how much work did she actually do with Jamaal's campaign? How much work did she do with these other campaigns? Like, what does she really know about these campaigns? She knows that there's a trend. A lot of people are also saying, look at these progressives who got voted in. Oh, this must be a groundswell of support for progressive ideas, and this is something they really want to see in their hearts. So they may actually see things through maybe tinted lenses, you could say. But I'll tell you why I think Jamaal won. So the thing is that I actually signed up to help Jamaal on his very first action. I didn't make it out. I was super busy taking care of other things, but I was following his campaign since day one. I was part of his phone banking operation, and honestly, that phone banking operation was way over the top. I was actually also following Gagarin. I was also following Herzog. I was also supporting, some other, Erica Briones, who's in another state. I was supporting some candidates from out of state. And the thing is that with Bowman, right, there was like a huge difference between Bowman's campaign and all the other campaigns. Bowman's campaign would have like 15, 20 people like putting in work, and they would be clocking like even a month ahead of time, like maybe weeks ahead of time, like thousands and thousands and thousands of calls. Like, it was insane. Even people from the West Coast, right? I was doing my show before with Lisa. We'll see if she comes back, but yeah, like you can see that on the West Coast people heard of Jamaal Bowman. His campaign was extraordinarily large. In fact, I would tell other campaigns I was working with, guys, you need to sign up for Jamaal's campaign and see these updates that I'm getting so you guys can understand what's going on here, because his campaign, the number of calls that are being made, his ground force, even his student-led initiative, his separate student phone bank thing was, I think, bigger than some campaign's entire phone banking operation, which was just ridiculous. So while it was operating, a lot of people are just attributing Jamaal's win to, a new acceptance of progressive ideas. I'm not so sure about that, okay? I think that Jamaal Bowman actually was a middle school principal for quite some time. And that gave him, right, if you think about them cycling, right, maybe hundreds of students, right, every year, right, year after year after year, that puts him in contact with many, many, many parents. That puts him in contact with people that may vote for him and may have, already put him in a position of trust. So it's not like he's like AOC, like a bartender, and then just coming in off the street and all of a sudden, just dominating, based off of like, those type of ideals. When you look at like Jamaal's background, yes, he does have some advocacy background, but it's not like you see pictures of him protesting or getting locked up, for being a protest, something like that. He's not that type of an activist. That's fine, He does actually have some stories like that, but it's not really at the forefront of his campaign, right? The forefront of his campaign is him looking real respectable, suit and tie, making that pitch. And he's very, marketable, yeah? So the thing is that Jamaal Bowman, like I was calling his campaign, like, yo, like you have so many people making these calls, thousands and thousands and thousands, and they would call me, right, because I was on the list, and I'd be like, guys, you guys are getting like 10,000 calls like, you know, a month in advance. Like, these other campaigns are not even close to that. I can see you guys are going to win already. I need to help out Gagarin and Herzog, because these, I just do not, you guys are clearly dominating in ways that other people are not. And just this goes out to other, people that are running campaigns that are, I guess you could say, underdog campaigns. I sign up for everybody. I'm getting still updates from Biden's mailing list. I'm still getting emails from Amy Klobuchar. I want to know what's going on everywhere, right? Don't just get shut off into your little funnel and then think that's the world. Reach out into other groups. You'll see me doing that, right? Like the Joe Biden, like I'm in the Joe Biden 2020 private group. Like I can see who they're talking about for VP. I can see how they think. I can understand them. A lot of the left, they talk about like, understanding and kindness and compassion, but they don't want to listen to the other side. This is that's not how this works, yeah? So it's just real. So the thing is that to attribute Jamaal Bowman's win to just, progressive values like taking off really kind of like shortchanges his commitment to the community over a long time, decades, right? Working, with youth and community issues as a principal. It discounts the political, strength that he gained from years and years of experience there. So, am I saying that upselling progressive ideas had nothing to do with his campaign winning? No, right? But to attribute it to that and not really talk about the other parts really makes it seem like that's the major reason, but it's really not, okay? And we can see like with other races, such as like Grace Meng, the vice chair of the DNC, winning again, we can see that the establishment has a strong grip, right? And what about Biden getting like huge numbers of votes and Bernie Sanders only playing about like 15%? And I think that like, Tulsi Gabbard, thank God, beat Amy Klobuchar for once, you know what I mean? That was, But Pete Buttigieg is still getting significantly more votes than Tulsi, So to say that, there's a huge upswelling of progressive, values, I think is I understand this might be what you want to hear. Maybe that's a way to rally the troops, but I think the best thing that we can give our organizers is honesty. And the better you can really understand what the situation is, the better you can really develop solutions that will, appropriate solutions to the problem, right? If you don't really understand the problem, how are you going to develop an answer unless you really understand the problem in full, So I appreciate, the cheerleading. I appreciate the, I would even really say to a certain extent propaganda on the part of the Hill. They have this populist agenda they're trying to push forward, and I get it, They are fighting an unfair fight against established media. They're trying to push it the other way, and that's, I have my own ideas on that, and I'll cover that in my next video. But honestly, if these people did not actually work in the campaigns, or, and they might be as, they probably have more access, right? Like they get to, if they want to talk to Jamaal Bowman, they're going to talk to Jamaal Bowman, right? And Jamaal Bowman's going to actually tell them things, and Jamaal is not going to talk to me. I'm too small for now, right? Whatever. I probably will be, honestly, right? But the fact of the matter is that access doesn't mean that they can get the truth. The truth is really, you have to be there and look for yourself, And so, there more people in the field need to do more work in terms of investigation. I didn't see anybody who was crossing, who was signed up for multiple campaigns like I was, even though I encouraged it multiple times. Maybe someone did. I encourage you all to do that in the future. So, once again, I just want to put it out there. Just last thought is, I'm not trying to put down the Hill. I know a lot of people will try to use this, in that particular context. I'm a huge fan of theirs. And I think they're actually one of the few shows that I do watch on a regular basis, because actually I'll make another show about that, like the positives and negatives, because there are both sides of this particular show. But I'm a fan, and I think that I appreciate their viewpoints, and it's fun and it's interesting versus the same. It's not as predictable as some of the new shows. So I appreciate that, right? And it's fun to see them grow, right? I always found them when there was like only a couple hundred subscribers, couple hundred views. I saw them, from the beginning. So when Sagar was on all by himself for a lot of those shows, there is no crystal ball She was maybe in the background or whatever, but that's what it was. So I just got to update Bowman for Congress. Now the merch store is open. That's cool. I think there's going to be a lot of support for him. It was really amazing how much ground support there was, and there needs to be more people from the ground. So hit me up if you're an organizer. Be a part. Let's set up a network. Let's set up a framework where we can other actors can talk to each other. It's time for us to start winning. Yeah, I'm tired of losing. All right, see you guys in the next one.
These videos are independently produced and funded, and your support is deeply appreciated. Liking the video and subscribing helps the channel, and ringing the bell icon will keep you notified as to when we upload new content. You can also check out our other social media platforms. We'd love to hear from you. We also have our event calendar, links in the description. On our Reddit, you can come in and get on the conversation and check out some of the memes. Like and share, it really helps us in the YouTube algorithm. Every week on Sunday, we have a live online meeting where you can join us in working to create and nurture the change that we need. I'd like to invite you to check out some of our other videos. Until next time, may all your actions bring you success. Stay focused, stay strong, and reinvest in yourself as well as your community. Together, our efforts can be greater than the sum of the parts. The power is in your hands. Thanks for watching.